10 days, 10 fingers, and 50 pages of random black spots.
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist and I'm finally back. So for everyone who's not following me on Instagram, first of all go and follow me. I was away for a pretty long time, I feel like. First there were all these exams, so I didn't do any videos, and then I went to Taiwan to spend some time there with my family. I came back and there were so many concerts coming up that I just didn't have time to do all the YouTube stuff. But then I thought, okay, let's try to, put everything that I'm actually doing into a YouTube video, and here I am. So one of the upcoming projects is going to be Beethoven's quintet with members of the Stuttgarter Philharmonics, which I'm very excited about. And I only have 10 days left until our first rehearsal, and except of the first movement, I didn't cover anything of this piece yet. So, I need a plan to make this work. Therefore, I analyzed this piece to understand the form of it and to, get a better overview of what I can actually do in these days. So the goal is to be able to play this whole piece in 10 days, in the final tempo with all the dynamics that are written inside, and so on and so on. Like, as many details as possible, so the first rehearsal is not going to be completely embarrassing. This quintet is built up in 3 movements, very classical. So we have 46 pages to play in total, at least at the piano. The first movement can be divided up into 5 parts: introduction, exposition, middle part, reprise, and end part. The first movement is usually the biggest one, and this one is also covering 20 pages already. Now we have the second movement, which is built up in 3 parts, covering 10 pages, and the last movement, also 3 parts on 16 pages. Okay, now luckily I've already practiced a little bit of the first movement while I was in Taiwan. Now I only had a few days there where I could actually practice, so I was not practicing that much. Still, I did a little bit of the first movement, but I didn't practice anything of the second and third movement yet. Now the third movement is a little bit more complicated. I have a lot of fast runs and technical stuff that I have to train, and this will definitely need a little bit more time, so I will start with the third movement. The goal would be to be able to play the third movement fluently in the final tempo after 4 to 5 days. So I don't have any time to lose, let's start practicing. So during the first days I was mainly sight reading, practicing slowly, finding fingerings, and practicing with metronome. So on the first day I managed to go through the first 5 pages and also play it more or less fluently in a close to final tempo. However, like always, on the next day there is nothing left. So that's also very normal that I have to repeat a lot of what I learned yesterday. Most of the stuff is not going to stay in my brain and in the fingers, which is on the one hand very good, because especially in the first phase of learning a piece, you are also practicing lots of mistakes. So actually you want to forget a lot of stuff. So this was what I was doing on the second day. The first 10 minutes I took to repeat what I did yesterday, very, very slowly. And during the next hour, I covered the next 4 pages. On day 3, unfortunately, I didn't have so much time to practice this quintet because I had a solo concert in the evening, so I really wanted to concentrate on that program. So basically I only repeated what I did the last 2 days and then also did some sight reading on the very last part. So at least I have the feeling that I actually covered the whole movement now. Okay, finished! Woo! And then it was time to get ready for the concert. Yay, I arrived. I'm so tired already. In today's concert I played Beethoven's Waldstein Sonata and in the second half Chopin's Etudes Opus 25. And by the way, for everyone who is living in Belgium or Netherlands, on the 8th of April I'm coming to Alkmaar in Netherlands, where I'm going to play Beethoven and Chopin Opus 10. On the next day, so April 9th, I will be in Ruizeld. I'm hopefully pronouncing this correctly. This is in Belgium, very close to Bruges. Both concerts are organized in collaboration with Piano Mane. If you want to get the tickets for these concerts, you'll find the link in the description box. Okay, the concert is over. Oh, I'm so tired. It was not my best concert, to be honest, but let's just forget about it. In 2 days there's another concert. Okay, let's go home. Day 4. So after yesterday's concert, I was pretty tired. However, I had to get up and practice the next program because tomorrow I'm going to play in Magdeburg a concert with all Chopin Etudes Opus 10 and Opus 25. So I practiced this before I practiced this Beethoven quintet because it just had some priorities. Still, I thought it's important to continue practicing and keep the things in my fingers and in my brain, so I'm just repeating a little bit before I have to leave and sit 7 hours in the train. Okay. Enough for today, I have to go and pack. And after a very nice trip in Deutsche Bahn and spending more than 10 hours instead of 7 hours and watching 3 movies, I finally arrived in Magdeburg at 1 a.m. The next morning I went to the concert venue and had a look at the city of Magdeburg, which I actually liked a lot. Unfortunately, it was raining the whole day, so I guess it's more pretty when the sun is shining. Greetings to everyone who's coming from Magdeburg, by the way, and thanks to everyone who was coming and joining me on that evening for the concert. And then day 6 came. On this day I didn't do anything except sitting in the train, and I was happy that I arrived on the same day. Thanks, Deutsche Bahn. Okay, from now I only have 3 days left until our first rehearsal, and I'm getting really nervous because I didn't touch the second movement yet. Even though the second movement is a slow movement, there are still some tricky parts. So after I took a look at the scores of the second movement, I came to the conclusion that I'm playing the wrong instrument. Look at the scores of the other instruments, that's unfair! Anyway, I'm way too much in love with my piano, so I would never change my instrument, so nothing helps but practicing. I have 2 days left until the first rehearsal. Today's plan is to fix a lot of stuff in the second movement, like really concentrate on the second movement, and practice a lot slowly with the first and the third movement just to make things secure in my hands and in my head. Honestly, there were moments like this. Where I really thought. Luckily, I had 1 cheat card left, which was practicing the whole rest of the day. Okay, I only have 1 day left, and of course, this happened. I found the perfect fingering! Woo! Now, I'm totally obsessed with the topic fingering. Fingerings are just my topic. However, I think in this video it's just a little bit too much to get into details with all the fingerings. So if you want to know more, check out my Patreon, you'll find the link in the description box. So basically, in the morning I practiced the third movement, and in the afternoon I concentrated on the second and the first movement. I was mainly checking like critical passages that are a little bit more tricky and trying to get everything into a final tempo and trying to stabilize the tempo with the metronome. Okay, the days of practicing are over. Today is going to be our very first rehearsal. I'm super excited, and I hope that most of the stuff that I practiced are going to work and it's not going to be too embarrassing. But before I end this video, I would like to share some news. I'm planning to record my very first album with all Chopin Etudes, Opus 10 and Opus 25, and the Trois Nouvelles Etudes. Now, of course, a professional recording in a professional studio is not cheap. So I would be very thankful if you want to support me in this project. You can support me on the GoFundMe link in the description box. I'm planning to send every supporter a personal thank you card after we reached our fundraising goal. Thanks to everyone who has already donated to this fundraiser, and to everyone who is going to donate, thank you so much for all your support. See you in the next videos. Bye.